Mary Helandera, Taylor's Women in the Driver's Seat. I am with my phenomenal fellow ambassador, Victoria Kimmel, and we are going to go visit our next woman in the driver's seat. Victoria, who are we going to be visiting with today?
Thanks, Mary Helen. So today we are going to visit with Jill Ackerman. She is the superintendent of Lima City Schools. She's been here for quite a while, and I'm really looking forward to the lessons we'll learn from Jill. Let's head inside.
Awesome.
Good morning, Jill. Thank you so much for being with Women in the Driver's Seat. And we have a few things we want to learn about your leadership today. So I'll get us started. Tell us a bit about your journey in education and public school leadership.
So I became a special education teacher right here in the Lima City Schools in 1988. I started in the middle of the school year as I graduated college in December. So I wasn't from the area, but I came into the area to become a substitute teacher at one of the elementary schools. That then became a full-time teaching position. I taught special education in 3 different schools before I became an assistant middle school principal. I served in that capacity for 5 years and then became the middle school principal. I did that for 5 years and then became the assistant superintendent in charge of curriculum, and then shifted over and absorbed personnel as well. I did that position for 10 years, and then I became the superintendent in 2012.
Wonderful. A great long journey with Lima, and you must love it here, I can tell.
I do.
And what made you want to be in the driver's seat of a large school district?
Well, I feel like a lot of it was just divine intervention. I was a teacher by trade at heart. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to help kids. When I became a principal, it was at a time when there weren't a lot of candidates for positions like that. I was already in that building, and so stepping in as an assistant principal was kind of a natural thing to do. I had a lot of good mentorship with the principals of the schools that I worked at. Being able to encompass even more students and more families and feel like you're really making a difference even outside of the classroom walls was what really became more appealing. Stepping into a district leadership role was scary. Still miss that feeling of having a building and having one small staff and a group of kids and a group of families. But I've been here long enough that now I know everybody in the community, and a lot of the students that we have, I've had their families. So the longevity of it, I think, has really been beneficial and made that journey easier for me, just being here as long as I have.
That's fantastic. You're where you're meant to be. And I had an opportunity to observe you connecting with the community in the backpack event. So I could see how the community knows you personally. That's pretty special. What are a few of the most challenging and rewarding aspects of what you do?
Well, I think the challenges become when you think about the responsibility that you have, not just to educate kids, but to keep people safe every day in the community with the things that are happening in the world. We've seen so many changes in security over the years and levels of security, along with technology. If you're not, and we weren't raised with technology, so it becomes a challenge to keep up with technology. And I try to be a learner right alongside of the administrators and the teachers when we're doing professional development. And so really buying into that and being able to exercise that on a regular basis and kind of be able to walk the talk. If I have expectations for the staff, being able to do those same expectations as well. So that has been challenging. Really, it's education, and we talk about this a lot. We're not in a position or a career that we know will always be consistent. They're people, they're human beings. We work in a society that changes all the time. We have to adapt and change with it. COVID certainly was one of the biggest challenge that we've ever had. But being able to get through that and come out kind of on the other end of it, know that we were able to keep the doors open the entire time was very motivating, so that we know now that we probably can deal with about anything that comes our way.
A lot learned there, and boy, you packed a lot of lessons in leadership in that statement there. There's a lot to learn from that, so thank you. What advice can you offer to young women and young men alike who want to get behind the school bus wheel and lead a school, either a school or a school district?
Well, I think the first thing that I would say is not to be intimidated by the idea of doing it. I was only 28 years old when I became the assistant principal of a middle school, and that was I was fearful to do that. But I did have a parent kind of pushing me along to that next level, as well as mentors, adult mentors, other administrators. Really, I took a lot of time to learn from the principals that I had and really look at the things that they do that are successful so that I was able to replicate that. But not to be fearful, to dive in, but be ready to give it your all, because you really have to earn that trust and earn that respect and kind of earn that place as a leader. And if you're able to do that, I think that you will be on a path to success.
Mm-hmm. The role of mentors are very important. What are a couple of the district's accomplishments that you're very proud of?
Well, there are a lot, because I've been here a long time, but I think that the expansion of our career and technical education program, I had a vision to have agriculture become part of our career tech program, and we were able to make that happen. So we're probably in our 4th year of that now. We leased some land at the prison. It was my vision that the kids not only were able to actually farm land, but have some animals, which we do, and then learn that technology aspect of farming. So bringing agriculture to our students was very important to me. So that was one. The second one, I think, was the development of our school resource officer program, which is really an extension of community policing. Our programming is completely different than any other school district, I think, that I have ever come across, where we have officers in our buildings who are doing positive programming with our students and really bridging between the school and the community in terms of policing. It is an extension of community policing. It's been extremely successful. Our parents and our students have that extra person in their life that they know that they can depend on, they come to in times of crisis. And we really have put, I think, a really good spin on the idea of security in our schools. They're here to protect them from everything that happens outside of here, and they've been very successful in doing that.
That's wonderful. 2 programs to be really proud of. Congratulations. Last question for you today. What's one piece of advice that you would give to women who dare to get behind the wheel of public education?
Well, I think that it's important for women who we are very sensitive to remember not to take things personally. People get upset. Not everybody, you'll never make everyone happy with decisions that you make. So you always have to remember that the decision that you make is for the best for the students, for the families, for the community. And if you can check those boxes, then you're doing the right thing despite the people out there that might not be happy about it. People will be very critical a lot of times of your physical appearance. I think that we get that a lot more than men would. And again, we kind of laugh it off. It's kind of that thick skin syndrome. I think you develop it over time. When I first started, I could be very intimidated by an angry parent or an angry staff member. But I think over time, when you know that you're walking every day doing the right thing for everyone, then it's easier to kind of brush it off and know that you're just not going to make everybody happy.
Jill, thank you for sharing your genuine responses, to leadership and how you found success on your career journey. I know others will benefit from this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jill Ackerman, for sharing your story today. What an incredible woman. And thank you, Victoria, for bringing us an amazing lady of Lima.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here, Mary Helen. And let's move on down the road to our next lady for Women in the Driver's Seat.